Internet. Welcome to day 2 of Titancraft. I did not film day 1 of Titancraft because on day 1 the server is spectacularly laggy, and while we have accomplished truly impressive things for a day 1, I feel like the ratio of grind to awesome on day 1 is not the best welcome to a new season and to a new series of videos. So, here at the start of day 2, I'm going to show off everything the Ravine crew managed to accomplish in our first 24 hours of Titancraft. Maybe a bit more than that, because I slept and my time zone does not line up perfectly with the server start. To start with, we have my cute little starter base. It's not much, but it's a bed, and some storage, and some beautiful, beautiful trees, and some beautiful, beautiful overgrown cave. Because if Minecraft won't give me lush caves, I will make my own. And through these doors lies the village of Ravine. This was a natural ravine, but we took some pics and expanded it, since its natural height would only have been up to about that terrace, and that entire section there had previously been mountain. Also, both that terrace and that terrace were sculpted into the cliff and pulled back a bit. So that width down there would be closer to what the original width had been, which was an interesting experience trying to mine out when you had to mine every block 7 times. And each one of us is building our own stairs and bridges to add to the chaos and intermingling of the ravine. I will, when I get more surplus of bone meal, actually have glowberries hanging from the glowberry vines. Today is not that day. And down there we have one set of stairs. And one of my fellow Minecrafters scurrying about the ravine. There is another set of stairs hidden into that cliff, and a glorious abundance of bridges. And I'm going to take a bit of a tour and see what everybody else has done. Looks like Raining Trees has been a bit distracted, helping out around town, and has not built much of their own personal base, but it does seem like they have a plan, and I'm not going to spoil it if they're doing their own thing or just want to wait until it's perfectly visible. I don't think that's the best angle for viewing that hut, so I will take my own stairs on down. And show off the cool nether base that used to have a label, but doesn't right now, and I can't remember exactly who it belonged to, but they have a lovely view of the ravine. And on day one, we had significantly more janky bridges and stairs, of which only that one dirt stairs remains, which was probably a good thing since these stairs got more kills than any of the mobs on day one. Ah, I love that grid of campfires, and also just well put together. Baguette's hidey hole, I approve. I also approve in some ways of the incredible simplicity of this cave. 10 out of 10, perfect niche in a wall. I mean, it does all of the things you need your own personal base to do. Storage, and furnaces where you're not competing with everybody else in Ravine Town. This is the communal area of Ravine, including communal smeltery, an awful heck ton of storage. Ah, right. There was an entire wall of cobblestone and dirt. Maybe a bit of sand and stone. And we did finally get 2 mushrooms, despite all of the interesting shenanigans required on day 1, given that they kept getting lagged into oblivion. By which I mean every time things would roll back a little, the players would get separated from the boat, so they were carrying the mushrooms in. And with it, and fairly quickly on day 1, the mushrooms on Spawn Island were gone. All of them. And we have a budding amethyst, or we have an amethyst geode so close to our ravine. And it's now set up to farm the beautiful purple crystals. Isn't it lovely? And we've moved our small enchanting nook down into the bottom of that. Ravine Town was also one of the first groups to have our nether portals set up, linking all the way back to spawn. In the beginning, this was a one-wide bridge of netherrack through the nether. Varying members of Ravine did not appreciate this, and we've moved it to being a 3-wide bridge of netherrack with handrails. I don't know whether or not it has been improved again overnight. And we have a proper actual smelter. Ooh, oh god, we have a second ravine under our ravine. And the actual public smeltery. And public composter. Well, there is not currently enough bone meal in the composter for me to feel good about taking some of it to grow more glowberries. I'll just have to do enough farming to toss more stuff into the composter. And continuing the tour of caves carved into, tiny caves in the cliff, we have Sauron's lair, which is definitely not tiny just from how long this tunnel extends, but it currently has not yet been decorated. I look forward to seeing what he does with this place. Another nook, and a skeleton horse. There had been a lightning strike early on, and we'd managed to get 2 of the skeletal horses. I'm uncertain as to whether or not this particular skeletal horse was the one that kept insisting on trying to eat my azalea bushes. And I love the effect of the glow in here. cute ceiling. This particular nook in a ravine is unlabeled, but it's off to a good start. 10 out of 10, I approve. Us elves need to stick together and build awesome bases. This one plays far more with the water features and has its own little personal growing area. I think it's probably more in theme than mine is, to be honest, but I still like my starter base as well. And we can both enjoy our cute little houses in the ravine. Because the nice thing about being in a village is that I get to see everyone else's cute little houses. And here we have Karmatic's base, which at the moment is a spoiler wall. Over here, ducking on around, we have the aquarium, full of cute little water kittens. Or at least one cute little water kitten, but sure, we'll be working on more. Fussel has bases on both sides of the ravine, complete with a very cute little window. And yet the other set of stairs that ends up slightly near to my base. Right. That bridge has a beautifully detailed underside as well. I mean, I did some detailing of the underside of mine, but decent suspension bridge. And these two bridges right next to each other. And here we have Spark's Nook's Nook. And Raining Trees. And Raining Trees' balcony. Ah, they're planning on connecting those two. I look forward to seeing what this ends up looking like when they've finished. I see several people are enjoying the new blocks. There is an abundance of both deep slate and tough here. I mean, the abundance of deep slate is the entirety of this, or is spread out across this ravine, but as we slowly terraform the ravine, it will look increasingly more lived in. And this bridge was not here when I went to bed. Isn't it lovely? Here we have also where the two bubble elevators actually come out. And the small path over to the hut that we spent most of the first few days in. And here we have the skeletal horse that would not stop eating my azalea bushes. I eventually saddled him just so that he could be ridden out of my base. Because while I approve of the skeletal horses, I don't like it when they're insisting on standing in the way of me trying to do anything. I have enough problems with block lag on this server, I don't need skeletal horses getting in my way. And we've moved to the nether portal that used to be here, but we have the small section of warped nylium out in the overworld for doing nylium farming. And both of our crop farm areas. And there we go. A nice clean inventory and just a little bit more armor, ready to go venture out mining in the resource world. And to brave whatever condition our current nether bridge looks like. Different again. Hopefully it should be intuitive which way is back to spawn, but hopefully it's not the same as definitely. And this does not look right. Ah, there we go. And the path. It's a very long road back to spawn, and it seems that the Nether Hub has reorganized itself. Is a public iron farm still under construction? Looks to be yet, or all indications say yes, it is still under construction. The resource world is over there, and I will look at this pretty night sky for a few minutes before not venturing out yet. And while later on I will definitely do mining off camera, I think that for day 2, some of that mining should be done on camera. And of course, this lovely desert, which has already started to be stripped bare. But that's what happens when you unleash a herd of hungry Minecrafters onto a desert. It disappears. I should probably turn my shaders off underground so that it's slightly easier to see what I'm doing. And I don't fall into holes like that? But what would the fun in that be? And in addition to looking for diamonds, I'm also, in fact, hoping to grab a bunch of deep slate and tuff and calcite. I've already got a bit of the calcite sitting around at my base, but more never hurt. I did not bring enough wood for this. That's fine. And as we can see, we still have as you can see, we still have non-trivial block lag here on day 2. And let's grab some copper because my plan for my actual significant build this season is a copper dragon. And the sooner I can start oxidizing blocks, the less time I will have to wait while the dragon is actually under construction for varying scales to oxidize. I will agree with the random comment I just noticed in chat of nether equals death. This is absolutely true, and you should say it. I should also probably drop down a torch so that I can see what I'm doing. Huh. Got farther than I thought I had from the last torch. And one moment to check. Yeah, that's deep enough. Ah yes, and some very delicious gold for making raw gold blocks, so that my dragon can sit on a proper hoard of gold. And even once the communal iron farm gets going, in my experience, Titancraft is still a hungry server as far as iron demand goes. Which makes sense when a bunch of people are fans of Mr. Builds new and creative iron farms every season. And also when a bunch of my fellow people on Titancraft seem to have the idea that a small storage system involves a full auto sorter going into about double the amount of chests that Ravine crew has for 16 people. Of course, this is also the server that, if anyone has seen the Patreon tour from the end of last season, regularly does full perimeter digs. And other, wait, you built this in survival? To which I think my most the most awe-inspiring of last season's builds has got to be the group that built the full station out in the end, complete with over 100 beacons. That and the entity cramming wither kill system designed to get 25 nether stars at a time to feed the beacon hunger. And good old block lag. Good news though, lava is not particularly scary when you get to mine out the same block 5 times and see the lava behind it well before you have to actually react to it. And I had a bit of fun on day 1 tormenting creepers that just could not move fast enough to stand a chance of blowing me up. However, now that we're into day 2, there is a chance that they might be an actual threat to me. Not a great chance, but it's a chance. Cave. I can probably get all the redstone I need just looting it from incidental mining. given that I am not primarily a redstoner. And, well, one build I have that is redstone is primarily not redstone components that actually have redstone in it. Okay, and the one redstone build I have is mostly composed of pistons with just a little bit of redstone on the side. And observers. Castlegate takes up a lot of space, but I don't think it's actually all that significant in terms of redstone demand compared to the amount of supply one gets incidentally mining for diamonds. Of which I have found not many yet. And strip mining is not great with statistically significant block lag, but I do this to myself. Yes, imagine going from this to the truly monumental builds that we're going to do later in the season. Then again, I suppose that even things like Ravine are sufficiently monumental when you've got mining the same block this many times. I'm proud to be part of Ravine crew. We're off to a great start for this season. Of course, I do wish that my fellow members of Ravine crew could share a bit of luck when it comes to diamond mining. And here we have my incidental redstone. There's only one durability left on that enchanted pick, so when this pick runs out, that's it for my mining session. Emerald. I do not have Silk Touch yet, and emerald ore is significantly more valuable than actual emeralds. Oh well, if the emerald ore is going to insist on getting directly in my way, And that looks to be the end of my mining run. I'll be back. But I can probably do some of the rest off camera. In full proper, I did a little mining off camera meme. As opposed to my I did a little building off camera. I was doing some off camera mining, and I have found my first diamonds for the season. Ah, 4 vein. Yay! Enough to make a diamond pick. Ravine crew does not yet have access to reliable fortune enchants, but we do have a villager with silk touch. And a silk touch pick is still very useful to have. So I did some mining off camera. Most of this is a little bit junk, but I got 13 diamonds. Yay! Also, a bunch of copper and a bunch of iron, and a little bit of glow ink. We do not talk about the cave where I found the glow ink. And so, after an awful lot of time being incredibly frustrated with villagers and furnaces taking forever to smelt, I finally got my enchantments together to throw some enchantments on my pickaxes. It's not the best enchantments, but it's good enough. With this pick, I achieved dominion over the minerals of Minecraft. In time I shall have fortune and be blessed with bountiful harvests, but in this present, I have the ability to harvest things as they are and as they will be, in all their bountiful or in all their beautiful glory. And thus, I now have my first diamond pick. I also have enough iron to be able to actually implement on one of my ideas. Bad chain. Go away. From earlier, of hanging lanterns and playing around with the verticality. Perks of making my wall out of fence gates. I can, in fact, get through it if I want to. And question my sanity for why, in fact, I wanted to, but, that fence had to go. There are valid reasons for carrying around dirt, and I should probably carry around more dirt if I'm going to be planning on refitting sections of my base to include chains, and otherwise altering the ceiling. But it's just small tweaks, make everything better. Such as, say, trimming back the vines. And we now actually have glowberries. And I have fixed the glass. Everything is as it should be. I will save that lantern. I have only so much room to oxidize my copper at a time. And this seems like a perfect spot to end for the night. Good night, Internet. Good night, Minecraft.